All right, so it looks like this David Benavidez, Canelo Alvarez fight has fell through again, thanks to Mr. Ginger Coward over here, the biggest duck master in the sport. He's got Floyd Mayweather coming out and making excuses for him, saying, you know, he's got to make the right decisions. You know, he's got to think about himself, which is just, you know, secretly telling me that, or pretty clearly telling you that the guy's ducking. And Floyd is relating to him. He says, yeah, I understand because I was in the same position. Yes, you were in the position to, you know, prove your greatness. And he doesn't want to do that. Man's only 33 years old. And he's done with the sport, people. He just wants to pick the easiest fights. All right, we got a video here from Fight Hype where we got Benavidez' dad talking about the Duckapalooza going on over here.
Don't be scared, homie.
All right, here we go.
Always training, man. But let's talk about this, man, because it's been in all the news today, the last week. You know, who's Canelo gonna choose? You know, what's going on? You know, he had that press conference that didn't really say anything. Everybody in boxing wants David Canelo. It's the biggest fight. Everyone agrees to that, but it doesn't look like it's happening.
Yeah, for sure. You know, for 2 years we've been the mandatory, and we've been wanting to fight with Canelo Alvarez for a long time. You know, I believe that Canelo is the best at 168. He's the king of the 168. He's the face of boxing. I believe that he's a dangerous fighter. So we want to face nothing but the best, and we've been trying, and we did everything we could to make that fight. First, he said that he would not fight any Mexicans, and then he you know, said that he didn't want to fight David. So we got to move on, man. I'm super happy with what...
All right, so there it is. The guy doesn't want to fight him. I'm seeing all this bullshit online with people saying, just making up all kinds of stuff. It's all speculation. Most of it is built in lies. They're saying things like PVC didn't have the money. I've seen people say that Benavidez is afraid of Canelo. It's all a bunch of bullshit. I got an article over here. All right, so it says Floyd Mayweather reacts to Canelo Alvarez split with PBC. I was in that same situation. So yes, he was in the situation where the fans wanted him to fight a dangerous fighter, and he decided to duck. David Benavidez is in his prime. Yes, just like Manny Pacquiao was in his prime when everyone was calling for Floyd to fight Manny Pacquiao. So what did Floyd do? He was ducking and dodging, just like his buddy Canelo over here. He's like, I understand what it is to duck fights, bro. I know all about it. All right, so we have Floyd Mayweather has not always seen eye to eye with Saul Canelo Alvarez, and he has now given his thoughts after it was reported that Canelo would be leaving PBC. Mayweather was not only one of the best boxers in the ring throughout his illustrious career, but also something of a pioneer of it. So, and by pioneer, what do I mean? The pioneer of fucking duckers? Canelo's what, following in Floyd's little chicken steps here? Is that what's going on? He's a pioneer of ducking. All right, so we have he famously paid himself out of a contract with Bob Arum's top rank early on in his professional journey in order to be able to control much more of it with regards to who he fought. So he wanted to cherry pick people. That's what he wanted to do. And this is what Canelo wants to do. He wants to fucking cherry pick. And so he wants where, when, and of course, how much money he earns. So he wants to, let's say that again. He wanted to control much more of it with regards to who he fought, where, when, and of course the money. So he wants to control the money, he wants to control who, and he wants to control where. So Floyd would fight in Las Vegas, where he would get special treatment, where he got to eject his hands, where he maybe even got to stack his wraps. He got to take PEDs. He had the referees on his side. He had the judges on his side. He cherry-picked a bum of his choice, and then he wanted as much money as he possibly can get to choose the bums. All right. Canelo has reportedly left the PBC this week after just one of a 3-fight deal. The breakdown came over who he should fight in his next 2 contests. PBC would only agree for him to take on Jermall Charlo should he agree to fight David Benavidez next. All right, so basically the problem that they had is that he wants to pick and choose his fights. And so in order for him to fight Jermall Charlo, he would have to agree to fight David Benavidez. So they didn't want this guy to be able to have these 3 fights and avoid Benavidez. And this was the big problem. He doesn't want to fight David Benavidez. He wants to make a bunch of money fighting the bums. He just wants to fight bums. He's just like Floyd, and this is why Floyd says he understands what he's going through. Yes, he wants to cherry pick. All right, so he's saying here that he's unhappy with the contract because they want him to fight Benavidez, and he doesn't want to do that. So now he's talking about fighting Belonga or Munguia. All right, let's scroll down. All right, so over here we got some shit about, and here's a quote. A lot of time fighters go to do what's best for them. You have to live with the decisions that you make. I was in that same situation. Canelo didn't beat the world champions. He didn't beat the champions by struggling. He clearly dominated a lot of those guys. He tested his skills light heavyweight. He won a title. This is written so weird. Then he fought another guy at light heavyweight and came up short, but he's a future Hall of Fame. A hell of a fighter. Everybody wants their business different. I wish him nothing but the best. That's from Floyd Mayweather. Floyd Mayweather's basically saying, you know, the guy wants to duck. Let him duck, bruh. He just makes his money. Basically, Canelo's like unofficially retired, and he's just trying to do his exhibition run, I guess. All right, here it says Mayweather then spoke of the man many want to see Canelo fight next. Benavidez has to wait his turn. He's a hell of a fighter. He just have to keep beating everyone, and then they will hand him Canelo. They will hand him Canelo? Interesting. They won't hand him jack shit, because what they're going to do is they're going to allow Canelo to duck this fucking fight. He wants to fight a series of bums, and then he wants to never fight Benavidez. Benavidez has gone up in weight, and he's most likely never going to fight Canelo. That's probably what's going to end up happening. All right, people. So this is disappointing, but it's not shocking coming from boxing. Boxing is a sport that's a fucking mess. These guys are overpaid, and they're allowed to avoid their challenges. I mean, there's no other sport that allows this. Look at MMA. They have a ladder system. You have to fight the number one guy. You got guys in boxing are constantly ducking the top. They're ducking all the top contenders, and they're going after the million titles that exist that they give to any fucking bum. Every bum gets a belt. Everyone's got a belt today. Who cares, right? But you're gonna go around the real champions, and this is what Benavidez is. He's the top dog, really, in my mind. He's the top guy at 168, and Canelo doesn't want to fight him because he knows he's not that guy. He knows he's gonna get knocked out. All right, so they're talking about him fighting Munguia, which I think Munguia might actually beat him as well. But I think Benavidez is pretty obviously is going to make Canelo quit in this fight. I think he will make him quit. I think Canelo knows it, and that's why he's going to avoid this fight. He's not going to fight the number one contender. He's acting just like Floyd, and it's true. You know, he just wants the easy touches. He wants the big money for the low risk. All right, we're going to be getting out of here, people. All right, remember to subscribe to FUTV. It is the greatest channel known to man. I'm just sick of hearing people make up these false narratives. They keep saying over and over again that this has to do with money and how the PBC doesn't have money. Well, guess what? They got the money for this fight. This is a super fight. This will make tons of money. This would be probably one of the biggest fights in the sport since maybe Manny Pacquiao, Floyd Mayweather. This is a super fight. This is the fight that Canelo can end his career on. But he won't do it because he's afraid to lose his status. And when he loses his status, that's financial as well. If he goes in there with Benavidez and he gets embarrassed and knocked the fuck out, or has to quit on the stool or get stopped, that destroys his in a lot of ways. That destroys his marketability. He definitely will not be the top cow in Mexico, because right now Canelo is looked at as the best Mexican fighter in the world. So what happens when David runs him over? His career's kind of at the end, and if it does continue on, he's going to have to either rematch Benavidez, or he's going to have to go up and he's going to have to fight all kinds of big fights. He's going to have to prove himself again, and he's really not at that point to reinvent himself in his career. So what he's doing is he's trying to hold on to whatever he has for however long he can hold on to it. So he's going to fight the Munguias. He's going to try to fight the Charlos. But I don't think PBC wants to do business with Canelo anymore, because you saw there, they want him to fight Charlo and then fight Benavidez. They're not going to give him the easy money. They're giving the easy money, but then he's got to do something for them. All right. All right, people. Remember to subscribe. This is the greatest channel known to man. It's WTV, man. Let's stop letting these people make up these little fake stories about, oh, it's because of money. Just trying to make up all this bullshit to let this guy wiggle out of this fight. All right, people. See you later.